Hello, good people, and welcome to Faithful Footsteps, where we're doing what? We're remaining faithful as we follow in God's footsteps. I'm your good sis, Sharika. If this is your first time here, welcome. We are, just to let you know what we're doing, we are walking through the Bible. We started at Genesis 1. Last time I was with you guys. Yeah, I got my tablet here where I write down all of my notes, because I write down notes for every chapter that I read. Okay, so the last time I did Exodus 12, to where Moses finally decided to let the people go. Okay, so this here is my own little wrap up of it. So I wrote a poem. So it's copyrighted by me. The words are here, and it's called the Exodus. Okay. God told Moses to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. But every time he came before him, he kept telling him no. God had a promised land flowing with milk and honey for the Israelites, you see. He promised it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob so the Israelites could be free. God said, "Many signs and wonders I have you do in my name, but Pharaoh's heart will be hardened towards all, so do not be ashamed." God said, "Take your staff, throw it down, and it'll become a serpent." But Pharaoh's magicians did it too, so letting them go wasn't that urgent. God said, "Put your hand inside of the cloak, take it out, and it will be white." But again, Pharaoh's magicians did the same thing right there in their sight. Pharaoh was still not impressed with Moses, Aaron, or God. He continued to keep the Israelites as slaves and working them very hard. The first plague, water turned into blood at the bank of the Nile. It killed the fish and all that was in it and left a smell that was vile. The second plague God sent were frogs all across the land. They went into the palace, the bedroom, and other houses of every Egyptian woman and man. Pharaoh tried to pull a fast one, asking Moses to appeal to God. But how many of you know that God knows when you're trying to be a fraud? The Lord said, "Stretch out your staff, strike the dust of the land, and it'll become gnats." And the magician, with their occult practice, guess what? They could not do that. The fourth plague, a swarm of flies, will fill the houses and land where they live. But none of this will touch the Israelites because of the love I give. The fifth plague, God said, "Go tell Pharaoh again to let my people go, or else I'll bring a severe plague against your livestock. I am the Lord, you know." The Lord did this the very next day, and all the Egyptians' livestock were dead. But the Israelites didn't have this experience. Theirs was all alive instead. The sixth plague were boils on people and animals. The seventh was hail. The eighth plague was locusts that filled up every house and ate everything as well. The ninth plague was darkness all across the land, so thick that they couldn't see. They couldn't see their hands in front of their face, so they didn't move for 3 days, you see. The Lord said, "About midnight, I'm going to go through Egypt and kill every firstborn male, from the firstborn of Pharaoh to the servant girl, and the livestock as well. The blood on the houses where you stay will be a mark for you. When I see it, I'll pass over your house, and no plague will come to you." Just like God said, Pharaoh woke up to crying and wailing like never before. All the firstborn of Egypt had died except the Israelites who had blood on their door. Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron, saying, "Get your people and leave. Take even your flocks and your herds. But before you go, bless me." The Israelites lived in Egypt for 430 years before they were finally free. They were free to worship the Lord how they wanted to and live abundantly. That's copyrighted by me, Sharika, and it's called the Exodus. And I wrote this poem, see here, November the 26th, 2023.